should they appear, though I might be wrong with one of them. They might have appeared in an earlier Semi World Cup. Anyways, we're already starting. Start actually just around the corner at that 99.5 level. Again, as I've mentioned, especially for these more lopsided matches, for lack of a better word, these accuracies that the Taiwanese are actually showing right now are pretty nutty, and maybe in a different universe, if they had a different opponent, this is very, very competitive. They're just facing it.
And it looks like although Taiwan have both full combos still on the board, their accuracy is definitely falling behind. I mean, not much you can do when we have these kind of accuracies on the side of South Korea.
And Tart getting that miss is not going to help their case. Jeff is actually carrying a full combo despite the accuracy. Like, just to know, like, we're like, especially for like the higher seeded teams, like, it's kind of normal for us to see 99.8, 99.9s on the Rice picks, which is kind of expected in the early game of a World Cup. Like, these are, I'd say, the most actable charts that we will be seeing in this tournament, and we're going to see less and less of these as we go further. So we might as well appreciate all these scores. Both YZ and Dresser still carrying a 99.8 at the end. And what is his team score?
This is an absolutely insane. That's a score v1 double S from Dressurf. Just the 3 200s from YZ. Hero Jeff there getting the
making the first drop of this chart, which is pretty unfortunate, and that will allow South Korea to pull ahead a bit more.
Yeah, lead growing second by second, but YZ actually finding a miss on the side of South Korea. That's their first miss of the match. And the accuracy drop came with it as well. YZ dropping an accuracy, but not quite enough to match the Taiwanese side. Taiwan still struggling a little bit more at that 99.1, 99.2 mark. While, of course, Han Jae-hoon, the one who is towering ahead of everyone else in the accuracy department, at least right now. And that is going to give a very substantial lead over to South Korea.
And I doubt anyone could even reach a 99.7 from this point in the chart. I mean, it's already done. South Korea grabbing their second point. Only 3 200s, alright.
That is a really good ratio as well, 1 to 9 almost. Miss still has higher accuracy than both of the Taiwanese players.
Well, that's kind of like the thing about these early game charts as well. A lot of players are already used to playing higher level charting, and sometimes when the players have to go a bit down, like in terms of like the physicality and all, it's pretty easy to trip up and maybe forget the basics of some sorts. I doubt that that's the case for that drop. It might have just been a miss.
Like, without a miss, if it was a score v1 double S, 99.85 would mean about a 1 to 10 ratio. Like, with, you know, this is looking like maybe 1 to 15 ratio SS, something along those lines. Very, very strong accuracy, and it's climbing still. We can see it's gone up to 99.87 now for Outlast. Dressurf still holding on to that 99.95 throughout the entire map. And Eggtart still hanging in there. 99.7 is still a very, very impressive score. But we're dealing with some of the best players in the world on the South Korean side. And it just looks like they have no weaknesses to speak of here.
Yeah, especially in the early game, they're extremely bulletproof. Well, not so with a few misses from Dresser. Alright, I do. This isn't the core jack pick, alright?
Since you mentioned that one, I believe that was 299.98.
Yeah.
So we're seeing 99.99 on Dressurf still. 99.98 on Outlast. There is the end burst, which can be very tricky to get good ratio on. Eggtart unfortunately missing one more time, but I don't think at this point it matters too much. Hero Jeff actually has a really strong recovery from that earlier act drop. Almost up to 99.9% themselves.
You mentioned a few bursts in the end. I think I remember No Name mentioning in Twitch chat on one of the matches, like that, or claiming a few victims.
Okay, Dresser.
Doesn't seem to be the case right now.
What are you doing here? What's the count looking like?
All
okay,
right.
down.
All right.
Does this beat Japan?
Oh, barely for.
Wait, no, but I think Japan won that by three
Japan won
hundredths. Just doing the calculation.
In a different universe, like these accuracies are extremely high. Like you have like very high act, and then you see top seed act, and like it's so hard to be able to keep up with that kind of accuracy. Though at least with the score that we're seeing right now, Taiwan is well within that striking distance. And this chart in particular is actually very, very tricky to maintain your consistency on, as we see the patterns starting to pick up.
Oh,
and there we go, Outlast the first miss.
And hang on a second, that was a pretty big accuracy drop with that. And the second miss, actually, hold on a second. Taiwan holding a little bit of a lead for now, but the accuracy still in the favor of South Korea because of Han Jae-hoon holding that 99.77. But Outlast with a third miss now, and these two full combos on the side of Taiwan putting in a lot of work to counteract that accuracy difference. But Hero Jeff finds the first miss on the Taiwanese side. Egg Tart follows as well.
But Outlast had traded the miss from Egg Tart.
Only Han Jae-hoon left with the full combos, and more misses coming in. Taiwan not liking that section right there with the LNs.
Yeah, as I mentioned, like, while the intensity of this chart picks up, as much as they would have hung on to the hope that they may be able to still steal a point, but the caliber of both South Korea players that we're seeing right now has made a difference. And they will be booking a place to the winners bracket quarterfinals, sweeping Taiwan.
And you had to imagine there was some kind of chance right there in that map. Around the halfway point, Taiwan had that, 99.4% double FC, but at some point just ran out of juice, and Han Jae-hoon making the difference. 991k.
Arguably the team favored to win it all this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to really hide the facts here. I think South Korea is heavily favorites here. I think it would be surprising for this match to be close. But that said, Australia...
Let's look around. And especially that the note count here is so low, any misses here will make things extremely difficult to recover. There you go, YZ actually finding the first one.
That's a very clean miss.
Yeah, the question here is if that will be enough for Australia to start clawing their way back into this chart.
It looks like it's just not enough. This point lead is still staying alone. That miss was way too clean. YZ still ahead of the Australians as far as the accuracy is concerned. And I think the AC lead for South Korea is just way too solid right now, despite the double FC coming in, it looks like, for Team Australia.
That is so nutty.
And it's the player that we highlighted at the start, Han Jae-hoon. Massive performance, only 8 200s and crushing the rest of the lobby here.
Unfortunate to see an LS,
but this is Team South Korea we're looking at. Double full combo still. We have Luca actually beating out Dresser by a little bit, but it is that miss from earlier. Oct4 actually bringing the accuracy back up to 99.5 as well, so this is still within 5,000 points despite that earlier miss. But it does rely very heavily on South Korea finding a mistake.
Everyone actually going through this section just fine. Surprisingly no drops. Actually, everyone getting through the... Well, Oct4 unfortunately dropping on this bursty section. But what can you do? Like, this chart isn't exactly the friendliest towards maintaining your combo.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was a fairly clean miss from Oct, but Luca's also dropped the accuracy back down a little bit. So has Dresser, but the player of this map for sure is looking to be YZ, still holding 99.83, well above everyone else in the lobby right now, and I can't believe we have 3 full combos still on the board in this match.
Well, there's still quarter of the chart remaining. Let's see if it could happen anytime. I hope not, just because like I want to see a very nutty score.
Yeah, Luca did drop quite a lot of accuracy just before as well, so now down to 99.33. The AC lead just way too big for Australia to possibly come back from. It's all about seeing what scores we're going to see here. And this outro also worsening YZ's accuracy a fair bit, but still going to manage to pull out that 992k with only 3 200s from YZ. 4 for Dressurf as well. That's a very consistent team score for South Korea.
Very short. Any misses coming from any of these players could change the dynamic of this chart. But as it stands, so far so good for South Korea here, maintaining their double full combos.
Yeah, South Korea just looking so solid on these picks. It's very hard to see an avenue into this map again for Team Australia, as we're already at the very end. We mentioned how short this map was. It's already pretty much over, and at 30,000 points, there's just not enough time for Australia to come back, even if there was a miss right now. And it feels like even though there was a couple misses for Oct4, even without those, the accuracy still in favor of South Korea. The combo, double full combo on South Korea there. Full combo for Luca as well, but that's just not enough to combat this. 99.99 we're seeing right now, about a quarter of the way into the map. And Dressurf being the lowest one on Team South Korea, 99.96.
Imagine that being the lower accuracy in your team score.
I was going to mention, mine had a 99.9 just before, but there was a couple of, I think, 100s or 50s that happened, unfortunately, on one of the chords, dropping accuracy down to 99.8. Still the 4-way FC across all the players here. But as you can see, the accuracy right now, especially, I mean, YZ and Dressurf are killing it at the halfway point. Huge accuracy drop from YZ down to 99.98 instead of 99.99.
Just trickier to read.
Oh, actually, of all players, YZ going to be the one to miss right now. And missing again, hold on a second. This might get a little bit close. Consecutive misses here, and we can see that point lead, only 4,000, but we're approaching the end of the map. It might not be enough. And we can see that lead is starting to grow a little bit more in South Korea's favor once again. And it looks like that might... Oh, wait hold on a second, another miss?
Wait a minute!
Oh my god.
Oh man, that was close.
That was getting dicey for a second for South Korea. A few unfortunate misses, but I mean, look at it's the ratio difference. It is all the ratio difference.
The final third of this chart's density does pick up pretty much relative to the earlier sections. Now YZ carrying the higher accuracy between the two Korean scores here, but I don't think that really matters as long as they're able to maintain this double FC.
Yeah, YZ really just crept up with that accuracy, just slowly improving it, while Han Jae-hoon's been falling off a little bit down into the 99.6 range. Still 9,000 points, this lead is staying, but Oct4 finding a miss, and that might just seal the point in favor of South Korea. There's just not enough time to come back from something like that. Pretty clean miss from Oct, but not something that you can afford against seed number 1 here.
Pretty unfortunate drop in recovery from Oct4. It would have been cool to see a full MP room FC on this chart.
Again, we are seeing 3 South Korea miss early on from Downta.
Well, it's kind of unfortunate. It's pretty early on. Outlast actually finding a drop as well on that pretty tricky core stream transition. This is a faster of the two core stream picks that we have for this map pool, and it's rough.
Yeah, it's also fairly long with not that much break as well. 3 minutes long, one of the longer picks that we've seen this map so far. But it is going to be South Korea off to a good lead, despite Outlast actually struggling a little bit more than I would have expected. 99.5 right now, Bounta dropping down to 98.6. While Dressurf is just...
2 consecutive drops, but I mean, we've seen them really kind of struggle at least to keep up with these ridiculous 99% scores, by the way. Like a mid 98 on this is very, very good. But if you're keeping it with players like around carrying these ridiculous accuracies, I have the word.
Yeah, not much. I mean, there's just not much that Australia can do overall in this match, and that's really what we're getting here. Both teams kind of subbing in players that
full combo stuff.
Full combo is all gone. So everything is wiped out, but it is going to be South Korea to hold on. Dressurf, despite that miss, that was 99.89% accuracy with a miss, which, oh my god.
Oh,
The ratio,
only,
we can see.
Oh, man. Only 200. So,
Difference?
Before even 2019, some of the names that we're actually seeing here are pretty familiar as well for over the past editions, and it's going to be interesting to see. Sunny is the defending Philippine national champion for 7K, and I think we should be seeing more of him really in this environment, like these higher level charts. Usually, Sunny is a guy who would perform very well on harder and harder stuff. As you see, Han Jae-hoon finding the first drop for the South Koreans this match. But I think it's pretty uncharacteristic for them for the meantime. And obviously, there's Dressurf carrying the 99.21 FC. Oji-san, currently the best scorer in the multiplayer room, and I think that's pretty much expected from these two superstars.
Yeah, actually one miss from either side. The only lead that's coming in for the favor of South Korea is in that accuracy. Although Kura is beating out Dressurf, Han Jae-hoon is beating Sunny by even more. Sunny falling behind the other three players in terms of accuracy at 98.5, but close enough. So this lead is nothing too massive. Only 12,000 points. This is definitely recoverable, but Philippines are looking at South Korea to try and make a miss at some point, make a mistake, because this lead is not going to shrink by itself.
Well, that's really the caliber of South Korea in 7K in general. There's a reason why they dominated the scene over the past years. Only had two misses, one in 2016 and one in 2023, and I think, especially the recent loss last year, they're definitely showing that, we're here, we're going to dominate you, and we're going to make sure that you won't recover anything. And they're already seeing that in something that, with respect to the Philippines, is actually going to be performing very well on.
Yeah, there was another fairly clean miss from Sani just earlier. Still at 98.4 though, and look at the accuracies of the other three. They've been rising throughout the entire map. Sani finding another miss, unfortunately gonna raise that lead to 30,000 points, but ultimately doesn't really matter that much. Oh, there's the last FC for Philippines gone, and we are going to be seeing South Korea taking this point in the end. I think even with that miss, it was a little bit too late there, and Kura is going to actually get the MVP at the end despite the miss.
Very unfortunate miss there in the end for Kura, literally.
Yeah, Surf trying his best to try and throw out a couple of curses, but not quite working with any of these players. And
I wasn't trying that. Anyways, I wasn't trying that. Both South Korea is still holding on to their combos, actually, same for the Philippines as well. On arguably the hardest section of this entire chart, no one getting really unfazed. We're not seeing any major act drops. Sunny unfortunately though, at that 99.2 level, finding a drop somewhere, before the beginning of the section, and Oji-san dropping their combo as well at the end.
And are we seeing a two-way FC? That's insane. Yeah. 983k on both of the players. Han Jae-hoon and YZ crushing this one.
Miss, anything can still happen. But what are these accuracies from Dressurf and YZ? Alright.
They are going for ratio. They are just straight up going for ratio on these. But a couple 200s coming in, so dropping that accuracy a little bit, but way above both Kura and Sani right now. Sani in particular struggling a little bit more with the accuracy down the line.
Ooh, an unfortunate miss there from Sunny. Before we even get to the section, something to note, Sunny is actually hitting pretty early, which is not helping their accuracy at all.
Yeah, act drops from both Dressurf and YZ, but definitely not enough to counteract those misses. And this score lead is just growing larger and larger by the second. 53,000 points right now, as we still have 3 full combos in this last section of the map.
Yeah, I think, regardless, really, whatever score you get here, like these are very, very high scores. Like some of the highest that we'll be seeing this entire weekend.
That's a
And there
double
you
FC
go,
for South Korea.
Korea.
Oh,
Oh man,
that
still
is
super consistent.
that is so that why are they so comfortable on this? Of South Korea, they have the accuracy lead. That's what's doing it. And now we're getting the real density parts of this map. If there are any drops from South Korea, this is going to flick over towards Philippines instantly. But both teams are going to have to hold on if they want any chance to be able to take this point. No one tripping up at all.
South Korea actually gaining more of an advantage in that sequence. I think I saw Han Jae-hoon actually increase their accuracy as well throughout the quarter section. And like just a minor accuracy drop there from Arona. But South Korea is starting to become a bit more comfortable into this chart as it keeps on going. Like both Dresser and Han Jae-hoon actually still gaining accuracy. Let's see though if they'll be able to maintain that in this guitar solo. Arona finding a drop at the beginning. And that is not a good sign.
Yeah, second drop as well. No drops coming on the side of South Korea. They're crushing this right now.
32-bit section with Ellen Walls and all that stuff, and then miss on the single note on the break section.
Yeah,
definitely a top player problem.
But Arona trading here with Dresser, both of those players missing, but that is just fine for South Korea. They still have this 13,000 point lead. Still the full combo alive on the side of South Korea with such high accuracies across the board. Actually, Kura matching the accuracy of Han Jae-hoon. But Arona finding one too many misses throughout that break section, and that's still causing this decent point lead in the favor of South Korea.
And like South Korea just needs to take this home now, trying not to find any additional drops if just for the leaderboards, I would think. And there you go, South Korea grabbing their 4th consecutive point with a full combo, a very clean full combo there from Han Jae-hoon.
And not too far behind actually is Kura. If it wasn't for that slider break in
uncharacteristic mister from Han Jae-hoon, and that does give the Philippines some room to breathe here. Actually, the first time I think this is the first time that they are actually carrying the lead in a map for an extended period. This entire match, and Arkwin finding a trade, so that gives the lead back to South Korea.
Yeah,
and Han Jae-hoon has already recovered
here. Yeah, actually dropped from Arkwin down to 99.1, while, as you said, Han Jae-hoon already reaching about 99.5, 99.6 range. But whoa,
that's a massive drop of the bracket.
Oh, that was rough. We saw
man.
the 50s in that one. More than 0.5% in 1 second being dropped there, and that's gonna flip the lead right away to Philippines. But look at this accuracy once again. Han Jae-hoon is building it back up really fast.
But you see how Han Jae-hoon easily recovered accuracy.
Yeah, he absolutely has the accuracy here, just not the comfort in holding the combo. Arkwin finds a miss, but that's very clean. That one, though, might be enough to actually give South Korea the lead. And another miss from Arkwin, the repeated ones. Now this swings all the way back in South Korea's favor. And if they just hold on, this might be the win for South Korea on this one. They're going to need to hold on to the combo for a little bit more, though.
Yeah, like, I think those misses really from Arkwin on that very done section, basically putting a nail in the coffin for the Philippines this chart. And and there's no time anymore.
Oh, I saw the misses coming through there. I saw those misses. But traded at the end, and it was the two players that we did not mention through the entire map.
Like the score in general is still the score gap is still increasing here in South Korea's favor of Arkwin, despite the whole combo actually getting the lowest accuracy in the entire room here, and that keeps on giving South Korea the advantage that they need.
Oh my god, I can't believe players are still holding on. What's going on? 3 full combos still, and we're getting into the last section of the map. Surely now someone manages to find a break. But if not, South Korea is looking like they're just going to start running away with this lead. 16,000 points. There's YZ.
YZ finding a drop.
But that's just
but
too
that's
late.
The end of the chart, though.
Yeah, the map is already over. And too little too late for Philippines here. It is going to be South Korea winning in a clean sweep 6-0 over Philippines, taking their revenge on the Grand Finals performance last year. And actually,
South Korea down in the losers bracket going into next week for the second year in a row.
yeah, South Korea having the same two core players as they did last year in Dressurf and YZ. But three of the South Korean players we expect to be playing here are so physically capable of pretty much everything. Then, yeah, you can pick and choose which players are more comfortable. And there's Neo's first miss of the match coming early on into this pick. That's giving a very large lead over, because this is not just a miss, but a whole % in accuracy behind Dressurf is Neo right now. That's giving 12,000 points really early on.
And like that amount of disadvantage actually is going to be a problem for Malaysia, as we see Neo finding yet another drop already at 98.4%. Not to mention, like, charts like these are so easy to get a run, like a feedback loop into your score. Like if you miss at one point, it's so easy to mess up the rest. Same goes for like performing very well.
Yeah, it is almost impossible to get a clean miss on these three full combos still in this lobby. Actually, Chiwi is managing to hold back Han Jae-hoon's score.
Yeah, like we're seeing three players like performing really well. I mean, Neo is performing very well as well, maintaining a pretty substantial combo this time around, but the accuracy really, the early act drops have been basically the main difference between these two teams. As like you just see that score gap. South Korea really has a commanding lead.
I can't believe this accuracy that we're seeing. Yeah. What is this from South Korea? Right, Dressurf in particular. There's another miss from Neo, but finding the miss at the very end.
Yeah, that's
I don't think it's not going to matter whatsoever though. This lead is too massive, 45,000 points. But what are these like? How do you hack that? What is this?
I think that was a clean miss from Dressurf actually. Having the coordination really to maintain your combo that section is pretty vital. Now we're getting into more of these staccato LNs that are actually not connected to their following note. Actually, everyone not really dropping that much accuracy. Now the density really picks up at this point.
Malaysia's going to have to hope for one of these combos to break, but Neo is the one that finds a second break there. Another fairly clean one. Only clean misses coming from the side of Malaysia, but South Korea is just not trading them whatsoever. Still with the two full combos, and we only have a quarter of the map left. They're building this lead ever so slowly.
Yeah, what I mentioned earlier, if South Korea is able to maintain these combos, maybe the accuracy, maybe the combos won't be enough for Malaysia as well. YZ did find the drop though, which is something that Malaysia wants, but Neo finds 2 consecutive drops as a reply, and that should give South Korea more, like a bit more breathing room again. Like these patterns are super difficult.
Yeah, these are some evil patterns towards the end here, especially with those like little staccato LNs as well, and Neo having a little bit of a rougher time than everyone else on keeping the combo towards the end here. Dropping AC a little bit. It's Chiwi with the highest AC in the lobby right now, but the misses coming out overall. Only one miss on the side of South Korea in total, and that is going to be enough for them to get a break point early on here. By 12,000 points, it is Han Jae-hoon finding the clean FC there, 977k. But Chiwi actually, despite the couple misses...
It's just so surreal to see everyone in their element now in this World Cup. As we enter this barrage of notes, Chiwi and Neo.
The real meat of the chart is yet to come here. And these double stairs are not going to stop for a while. We see some accuracy drop on the side of Neo, but nothing too significant just yet. This is only 1,000 points in the lead of South Korea.
Chiwi actually getting the highest accuracy here in the entire lobby.
And with the act drops actually on the side of South Korea down to 99.7, this lead is shrinking really fast. It's going to come down to who makes the big mistakes first. So far, everyone holding on really well. We're getting halfway through the map. This is only 1,000 points.
Both South Koreans actually stabilizing at that 99.7 level, actually just increasing the
Slowly.
lead.
99.4 now. And that's giving 6,000 points in the lead, but anything can happen right now. There's some things here that I don't want to be mentioning just now.
Yeah, like we cannot look at the commentary though. Neo actually finding just a small drop in accuracy as well in that section, and no, that miss is unfortunate.
What's even more absurd is that this is like the last 10 seconds of the map now. We just saw our first miss. There's 3 FCs. Yeah. What?
Alright, what are these 200 counts?
Against Korea. And of course, this one being a mix of both LN and Rice. It's Neo that finds the early break right out the gate here. And that comes with a bit of an act drop compared to everyone else as well. But Dresser actually being the one to trade it here. Trading misses with Neo. It's going to be South Korea still in the lead, but now Chiwi misses as well. Everyone except for Han Jae-hoon, the only full combo left right now. And accuracy also in favor of South.
To catch up.
They are going to have to hold on to their combos a little bit more in the second half though. And they're going to have to hope that South Korea find a couple misses. 14,000 points definitely recoverable in a map that's only 2 minutes long. And these jacks with LN so brutal always to try and hold on to combo, but everyone finding them okay. And 14,000 points. Oh, that's a double miss from South Korea. Both players dropping, and this lead halves immediately. I think Malaysia just wants one more moment like that.
Malaysia actually doing... Oh no! Yo, that's a bad rush as well. Oh, like a few misses. Bracket.
Yeah, few misses there, kind of like locking on some of those notes it looked like there. Now 20,000 points in the lead for South Korea. It looked like we are going to be seeing our second breakpoint in favor of Korea. And 4-1 now, as we see Chiwi, another lobby MVP coming out of him, despite those early couple of misses there. And here we go right away with the extreme density, and this is not going to let up throughout the map either. And the high OD as well means that the accuracy can drop really, really fast on some of these patterns. So far we have Chiwi and Dresser both holding extremely high acts overall. Neo a little bit behind YZ, that's giving this 2,000 point advantage over towards South Korea for now. And in terms of combo...
Actually holding on very well. Yeah, they're actually holding on very well to their accuracies as of the moment. Malaysia actually stabilizing to wherever they at their levels right now. I think Neo needs to pick up a bit on the accuracy, and this is a good opportunity for Neo to do so. But we'll really see if South Korea is able to maintain their composure once the main super dense part of the chart starts.
Here we go, another one of these dense sections coming here. Dressurf and Chiwi still with these monstrously high accuracies. Neo still a little bit behind, but not by much, and that's a miss from YZ, the first miss of the map, and this is going to shrink the lead really quick. It was a very, very clean miss, so maybe not enough by itself, and there goes a miss from Chiwi, from Neo as well.
But YZ manages to trade that, but South Korea's accuracy is actually really nuts right now. Dresser doing well with a 99.9. Neo finally getting another drop, and that should give South Korea just a tad bit more of the lead. As we end this chart with a really, really phenomenal score from Dresser. What is that?
Dressurf and Chiwi.
Oh no! No!
Oh my god! What? 0-200s, but the one
manner.
No, if that does happen, we need to check his PC. That's... It's not happening, but 4 minutes long. We're off to a good start for all 4 players. Right out the gates here, only 400 points in the lead of South Korea, just off of a little bit of an act lead. But real pattern starting to kick in right now.
Alright, everyone getting through that mini jack section. also, wow, YZ finding a drop, Neo trading that.
Another follow-up miss as well from Neo. That's going to swing the lead in favor of South Korea. So 3,000 points already. Big accuracy drop as well from Neo that came with those. So about 0.5% behind YZ, and that's the main kind of 1v1 we're looking at to decide the map, it looks like. Neo versus YZ here, the players that have been finding the misses the past couple maps. Whereas Chiwi and Dresser both matching each other with the full combos. YZ finding another miss. This lead is going to start shrinking.
Yeah, there's a lot of no CD, and Neo also needs to increase its accuracy. At least to close the gap just by a bit more. I think South Korea is starting to stretch, especially with Chiwi now finding a drop. It's only Dresser with the only full combo left in this chart.
Yeah, and the accuracy now, Dresser beating Chiwi in the accuracy after that miss. YZ still 0.5% above Neo. And as I said, misses cannot quite make up for a big accuracy difference in long maps like this. So Neo in particular is definitely going to want to increase the accuracy. He is actually raising the accuracy quite a bit, but a trade from YZ and Chiwi, that's going to bode just fine for South Korea. As Dresser still is holding on. I'm gonna not mention his name for the rest of this map.
Yeah. Actually, ooh, YZ finding yet another drop. It's actually a pretty big drop, but immediately recovered.
That's a pretty nasty drop, actually. That was a whole like 0.2% accuracy drop, as Neo is actually increasing the accuracy. Does find a miss. That one a fairly clean one, all things considered, though. And both Neo and Chiwi starting to increase the accuracies just a little bit, is making up a little bit of this score lead, but now it's raising once again as YZ managing to build back up above 99.4%.
Also, I just noticed that one guy actually V1 double S that intersection. Alright.
He who should not be named, doing unspeakable things on our screen.
Yeah, imagine V1 double S-ing that section. Alright. Now with this break section, is this going to be a literal break section? I don't think so.
The most dangerous sections in any map, I swear. But Neo did drop a little bit below 99%. Has to build up the accuracy yet again, but there's not much left in the map. And 18,000 points now. This accuracy lead has just grown the lead ever so slightly. There's a miss from YZ, but it's traded by Neo. So no big deal from the side of South Korea. They are going to maintain this lead throughout the ending. And unless there's a massive collapse from both of the South Korean players, it's looking like they are going to manage to hold on to this.
Yeah, and YZ and the guy who will not be named until the end of this chart still holding on to whatever they're doing right now. Kiwi with a pretty substantial combo as well. And never mind.
No. See, this is why we're not naming that other person. No. Oh, is that 9? It's almost 995, wasn't it?
Only 5-200.
Oh my
gosh.
1 to 10 ratio, 5-200.
Long jacks do get annoying. Now here we go. The super dense section.
And we'll see who makes the first mistake here in this one. We see a bit of an act drop from Chiwi's side. And that's going to grow the lead in favor of South Korea. The longer that South Korea holds on to these combos, the more of a lead they're going to make just off of this accuracy. And they have, both of them are at 99.9. That is incredible. Chiwi finding the break. Yeah. South Korea, by the way. Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
Jessup actually finding a little bit of an act drop. That was like a 50, I think, but still holding on to some ridiculous accuracy overall. Still the double full combo. I'm saying it just straight out. They have to miss, but Chiwi's the one to miss instead, and this lead is just gonna keep growing, insurmountable at this point as we're getting into the end.
Neo finding a drop. Dresser finally dropping for South Korea, but that won't matter at all as they guaranteed themselves in the spot in the grand finals. Trying to right what has been wronged of them last year.
It's YZ now. What is this? YZ.
Wow.
250s, but 188. 300s, 995k now from YZ. 989k.
What I'm just trying to say here is, it's quite interesting to see the it's just interesting to see like the different results and all that. Like we saw at the start where the Philippines was able to come. I'm just a little bit concerned about this pick though, because I know how bursty this is, and as I say that, Jessup already finding a mistake on the very start. And another one actually, this is quite uncharacteristic for Jessup, because you'd expect Jessup to be very consistent. All these kinds of patterns, what is going on?
Yeah, there's some weird discomfort happening on Dressup's side. Of course, Dressup being one of the best players in the world, if not the best player in the world, just straight up in 7 key. So those are very uncharacteristic, but it looks like the accuracy alone is enough to keep this score difference really small, and with one miss from Malaysia, that's enough to flick it over towards South Korea. Traded by YZ, but accuracy once again, Neo has dropped down to the low 98s, despite being the only FC left.
It's actually really close though. 2,000 points of difference despite all of the misses. Nyokchip dropping, that's gonna make this lead much bigger.
Despite that, they are retaining the lead just off the accuracy. YZ finds another miss. It's a fairly clean miss, traded by Neo as well. So South Korea gonna maintain 10,000 points in the lead, but nothing too comfortable yet, and YZ finds another miss.
Ooh, Dresser finds another one! Another one! That's a massive one, but Chiwi also trades it! Wait, this is actually really close! Dresser and YZ are missing so many times! It's gonna go back to Malaysia! But wait, what is happening right now?
These misses are so messy from both teams right now, and it's flickering back and forth, but it looks like Malaysia missed just a little bit more towards the end. South Korea managing to hold on to 14,000 points of lead. As we're getting into the outro, Dresser finding another miss, but 17,000 points. I think the accuracy difference has really shown up here.
Oh, wait a second.
10,000.
This score
Hang on a second.
This score check part is not safe. We've seen a few misses here. Nyokche finding a mistake. This Dresser. Oh, that's it.
Oh, that's it.
That's it. That's it. What? That was just back and forth.
What was going on there?
Everyone got 900k plus in that map. That's absolutely insane.
And oh my god, those misses, like despite this being a physical pick, South Korea favored, those misses were so...
As the chart starts to pick up its patterning, and here we go, South Korea with a very, very, very slight lead.
Oh, but there he goes. Han Jae-hoon finding a couple misses there, dropping the accuracy as well. Oh, and another one. And this lead is actually going to start in Malaysia's favor.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Like when they picked this and I saw Dresser was subbed out, I think Malaysia was trying to attack the Han Jae-hoon's advantage on Han Jae-hoon, try to gamble and see if they could take it. And right now, it's sort of working, but Nyokche has sort of been dropping, and YZ also the same. Chiwi and Han Jae-hoon are the only ones still holding strong. But looks like everyone's starting to get a little bit more stable actually.
Yeah, all of those trades kind of neutralized any kind of score lead, but it was those earlier misses, so there's another trade there, perfectly keeping this score lead balanced, but those earlier misses from Han Jae-hoon are the entire difference right now. And one more from Han Jae-hoon there is gonna...
Overall, actually, even though Neo is the only player remaining below 99% in this entire roster, but 2 consecutive misses from Malaysia swings the lead back to South Korea as we enter yet another dense LN section. Like, if you're Malaysia right now, you really want to maintain your momentum here, but Neo finding more drops. But
raise a little bit if Malaysia wants to come back from this score deficit.
I mean, it's certainly not over yet, but these LN sections have been really damaging Malaysia, and while South Korea has found some drops on their own, this is like the section where you'd expect them to have an advantage, but Chiwi and Nyokche just not able to take that. Those LN releases have been giving South Korea some trouble, but the damage has already been done.
Yeah, South Korea is finding a lot of misses here, but they're all being traded, and all of these misses are so clean as well. Both South Koreans now still above 99%, matching Chiwi's accuracy. It's a bit better accuracy now from Neo, managing to raise it in that second half, but it's not quite enough. It's still 16,000 points.
But we saw this chart have pretty big swings, especially in these dynamically changing sections, but as it stands out here, you're really holding on to a lead, and I think that miss from Neo might have sealed this chart. And South secures a breakpoint.
It was getting closer towards the end, but there's just nothing hard enough in the outro of that map to really make that much of a difference. Pretty close, 14,000 points, not bad. It was just a fair amount yesterday.
Yeah, and I don't even think, like, especially for this round where you want to get a better team score than what you got from a previous match. I mean, obviously you want to, but for pools like this, it's hard to be able to pull that one off. It's most likely South Korea is super confident about their team score overall that they might be able to beat even an improvement from Malaysia, I would think.
Yeah, so far going well for South Korea. Early drops here from Neo, and also accuracy drops as well, down to 97%. This lead is going really fast, 40,000 points already.
I am not going to mention the two people on the left side of my screen, but there you go, there's a drop from Dresser.
But a single drop, that's still 99% accuracy, still above both players on Malaysia. And of course, YZ is just crushing this right now. This is an unrecoverable lead. There is no way. We're only halfway in, but this is 110,000 points.
How can someone even hold... Like, how can you even hold 99 in this? Sorry to interrupt you, Surf, but I just can't believe what's happening right now.
This is not an accurate.
Where I think everyone when someone else has mentioned it accuracy, I think all of us just went speechless.
99% is not what you should be getting on this. And we can see, you know, Neo also, like, Neo is one of the best, like, physically capable players in the entire world, struggling, getting 95%, but yeah, I mean, misses don't really matter later on in this match, but for now, this is 4 minutes long, so we're looking for consistency with these players.
And consistency means that like, every single player here must limit the amount of misses that they are going to have, if anything. And there you go, the first misses already coming by the way of Neo. But I think, especially with how long this chart is, that probably won't matter, especially until we get into the later end of this chart.
Yeah, early misses don't matter too much, but if you're repeating misses like this is going to start to add up very quickly. 10,000 points in the lead for South Korea already, and those points matter more. They are worth more than usual because of how long this map is.
I might as well give a mention, like, we're seeing 99.8, 99.7, 99.6 practically.
I don't want to
in a chart like this. Grand final. Yeah.
They're not gonna hold these. This is not gonna last. We're gonna see misses coming any second now, right? But 2,000 combo in. How are you still holding 99.7s?
We already saw Neo finding a drop in this stairs section, which everyone else is practically destroying right now. What is happening?
Yeah, we see. Wait, like, can we just mention there's 3 full combos in the lobby right now?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, screw the players. I want to curse this. Someone break. Someone break.
Okay, someone's gonna miss after I speak right now, right?
Oh my god, there's no way.
Oh, there you go. I told you.
No way.
Okay.
No way.
Okay. That's one full combo out, but that's such a clean miss. It's still 99.6, and I think why? Okay, there's Dresser missing at the start of another break section, but those misses are so clean that I think both of those players are still beating Chiwi in terms of the score, and Neo finding another miss. Neo's having a lot rougher of time than the other players, but I mean, understandably, because I don't know what the hell the other players are doing.
Like, this chart in itself is extremely difficult. I'm actually pretty surprised that Chiwi has been comboing this long. I think this is Chiwi's longest combo in this entire chart since yesterday.
God damn
Oh
it.
my-
Okay,
I might as well get my share. I guess I might as well get my share.
okay. That's everyone gone. No full combos left, but accuracy lead definitely in South Korea's favor. And this feels like it's pretty much done almost. 53,000 points. This lead is gigantic. On a 4-minute long map, this is as big as a 100,000 point lead on a shorter map. These misses coming in from Neo, still holding a 98.5, but the scores on South Korea, these scores are making this look like a quarterfinals pool.
Yeah, I mean, 99.65 average or something like that on the South Korean team. And I'll also say this, the mere fact that 98.5 is the lowest accuracy we're seeing right now, that's absolutely insane considering how difficult this pool really is.
There's no team. There's no possible team that you could make that could match South Korea's team score right now. Even though we're seeing a couple of misses, it's not going to matter at all. That is just way too little for this score to even have a dent in it.
I mean, I don't think even a massive meltdown from South Korea at this point will even make a score difference really. As we see the last of the substantial combos from Dresser drop
13.
But still, this is extremely ridiculous
from both of them.
Oh,
Wait.
oh, when the spacebar mini jacks kicked in, like these patterns are extremely unconventional, especially if it in a more human terms. We usually don't see these charts often, even in the rank section or somewhere else. Like even in the unranked section, these charts are not exactly the most conventional one, and even these top players are really struggling to find their own footing. Like, just able to find this semblance of consistency is already quite a feat. Like, we're already seeing drops from every single person practically.
But
Well,
it's just not enough here for Malaysia. All these trades are happening back and forth, and the accuracy lead is still in South Korea's favor. We have YZ with 99% leading the lobby here despite the misses. And now it's 35,000 points to lead. This is not going to be a point for Malaysia. We're going to have a second break point here for South Korea.
Yeah, even if Chiwi had the best score by a little bit, not to mention the best ratio as well, it's just not really. What I'm really scared about is gonna be the consistency factor. I do know that. Oh, wait a second. Dresser finding a miss. That's what I was talking about. Like, again, what I've noticed is what South Korea has kind of had a habit of finding a few misses, and that mistake from Dresser could really cost something. Another one even.
These are really uncharacteristic to see from Dressup in particular. Another one coming through. Hang on a second. 10,000 points is going to be the lead for Malaysia.
and the drops are actually pretty substantial as well. Like a single drop of Dressup already drops them like 0.1%. Like those drops are
consistency. They can really win this, but we know how core jack picks work, and if you make any mistakes, it's just gonna keep on increasing the lead for the opposing team. Chiwi finding a miss. That is gonna be the chance that South Korea is gonna wait and look for. Is it gonna be enough? But Dressup trades it back.
Yeah, big misses from Chiwi, but Dressup trading it back there. I wonder if there's enough time left. I think this lead is slowly going towards South Korea. That might have done it. That might be enough for South Korea to bring it back at the very end. And I think Malaysia, they have lost their best chance to win the break point. That could have been theirs.
also YZ.
What?
YZ? FC. If they went for hunting like right now, I think it might be really for the super dense island section. Basically like around halfway, like the final third of the chart. It's most likely that part. They're banking on for Han Jae-hoon. Oh, that's an early drop from Neo at the very. Yeah.
That's not too bad of a drop though, because even though it was a very early drop, not much accuracy was lost. It's still 99.2%. This is 2,000 points. Basically nothing to really panic over for Malaysia early on. It's going to come down to the bigger drops that we're going to see later on in the map. Starting here with the Rice sections.
So right now, we're seeing the same story again, where I just noticed we've seen drop from YZ on this section, and Han Jae-hoon, like again, some of the instances, yeah, we're seeing some misses on these Rice sections.
Oh, but there's Malaysia.
I might also
collapsing.
mention that yeah, a collapse from Malaysia, but I might also mention that before this LN section really came in, Han Jae-hoon was actually getting a 99.7, and only really started to drop the accuracy when these patterns really came in. And we're already seeing like another reset from Malaysia here, consecutive drops from Chiwi, and that extends the lead here for South Korea.
And I think both teams are missing kind of equally, but Malaysia's missing so much messier. Look at this accuracy drop from both Neo and Chiwi, below 98%. Han Jae-hoon is messing up accuracy quite a lot as well, but it's YZ carrying once again, 98.9, the only one remotely close to 99%. And that is extraordinary on a map like this.
We're going to see more of these patterns really, and this does not bode well for Malaysia unless they're confident that they just can't perform in that section, and they hope as well for some miracle that South Korea finds a really big breakdown.
But this is an accuracy canyon. There's so much act to recover from. 98.7 for Han Jae-hoon, managing to recover really well. Both Malaysian players are above 98% as well now, but Chiwi finding an extra miss, and no misses traded from South Korea. They are going to grow this lead.
Yeah, it's just gonna start to gain more and more. Nyokje being the only person to hold a very high combo in Malaysia, and that's the one with the slightly worse act as well. It's just not gonna cut it. South Korea maintaining their accuracies, and a full reset from Malaysia. I think that's gonna seal the deal for South Korea to potentially take another championship, regaining their crown back from last year.
We're getting to the outro of this map. Traded, but trades don't matter at this point. 55,000 points. This is going to be it. It is South Korea who are going to take first place in the Osumania 7-Key World Cup 2024, regaining their position as the best 7K team in the world.
Oh,
Indeed, and wow, YZ just recovering to 99.2 in the.
Yep, everyone still holding on to a 98%. Malaysia, I think, is actually outperforming their previous performance by a lot right now.
Yeah, well, we'll see if that stays by the ending, of course. That is the section to look out for, but Chiwi struggling with this one. Both of South Koreans also. This lead is kind of growing ever so slightly as we're getting into some of these LNs. It's starting to get towards the end of the map. Not quite at that one section just yet, but 40,000 points. It's been quietly growing for South Korea.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent cushion going into the section.
Yeah, and this is a fair difference. South Korea certainly taking it, and that should do it, I think. This part, I expect a lot of players to struggle. And oh, what is going on? I think South Korea is the one who's actually missing a lot more slightly.
No, but the accuracy, it's YZ. YZ still has a 98. And that is enough to carry this above. Look at Chiwi, unfortunately dropping down to 95%, Neo dropping down to 96. YZ crushing yet another map. Is this a 900k?
Wait for it. Oh my god,
no,
really?
no,
really? Why? Why would you do this? Why? Okay, no, it's not. Oh my goodness.
Another shout out to YZ. That's just crazy as well. We'll call that an honorary 900k. But the ending of the map claiming another set of lives here. Hundreds of misses for everyone except for YZ.